Oh, good morning.
Happy Friday.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I just woke up. Woo! So we're going to do this. We're on the 5-part series of addiction, and today's subject is video game addiction. All right, so those of you who play video games, I'm not very good at them, so I probably, I wouldn't say get addicted, but I get frustrated in losing. Because one thing about video games is you try to get to the highest points, the number of kills, whatever that is. But video addiction, well, let's talk about that. Like any other addiction, we're getting a need message. If we're going to use the need-based methods definition, what are we getting out of being trapped, not trapped, but isolated, focused on a screen by yourself, possibly isolated, but also talking, maybe playing with a group of people. So I've dealt with a few of these of my clients, and this is what I've seen, is there's been bullying in some instances when they were young. So one of the places where they can get their needs for self-worth met and empowerment met is playing a video game that you're really good at. And if you're good at something, guess what you're going to do? You're going to probably keep going and playing and playing. So self-worth, you're in control. There's fantasy involved where you get to be the hero, and well, you're the hero in the video game, but you're not the hero in real life, because when you go out into the real world, you may be bullied, you may have chores to do, or you may have a dysfunctional situation in the home where the video game is a wonderful place to get lost. So, what's that?
Video games don't bully you.
Yeah, Well, I just told you. Yeah, video games don't bully you. You're in control. I had a client here who was getting bullied when he was like 6 years old. So he was in another country. So he was playing video games. And he played them for like 10 years. That's almost like Tiger Woods playing golf from 3 to 18. He's played for 15 years already. And what happened was he got so good that they gave him a pro athlete visa to be a gamer here in the States. So what happened was here's the problem with when you're in one area your whole life like this, is that you're isolated and you don't have any social skills. So he came here, he didn't know how to socialize with the team, he didn't know how to go on a date, he didn't know how to just go out into the world and just, work with it, communicate with it, personalize it, depersonalize it. He did not know how to do any of that. And he called me to, get some answers. Oh, we gave him some answers all right. He didn't like them, but he improved a whole hell of a lot. So when I asked him about why he, stayed in his room after school for 5 to 6 hours a day, and that was the reason, was the game. The game gave him comfort. As eating gives people comfort, as drugs gives people comfort, as alcohol gives people comfort temporarily. But once you finish the game, guess what? There's a world waiting for you, as it always is. Another thing about a video is, I had a client who, what was it? In video games, guess what you get to do? When I say, remember the hero? Yeah, we get to kill. That's empowering. You get to actually kill something. Or another thing you get to do is you get more points. So the more points you get, the more kills you get, the more other things you get. And then you go to another level, a higher level. Those are all injections of self-worth. That you have an ability to improve something, to do something, and see yourself as, hey, I'm okay. But again, the problem is what? We got to go face the real world. And when you face the real world, people may not respond to you like the video game does. So that's my take on video. It's not as, shall we say, I don't call it, not deadly per se, but they're killing characters, but it's not like food or drug addiction where you can overdose, overeat, bulimia, and things of that nature. You do, however, are isolated and socialization skills are impaired. And that's what I can tell you. And so I've got some symptoms of the video gaming, when you play for so long. And I'll read these to you. We have one like fatigue. We have migraine headaches due to intense concentration from the eye strain. We have carpal tunnel syndrome. You know, so I know people at work who have carpal tunnel because they do their thumbs all the time. That's interesting. And another is, and we'll go to the phone for a second. The phone, the head, but also, you know, you're leaned over, so you get muscle strain, neck strain. Yeah, chronic neck strain. So there are all these. Boy, you thought football athletes had a problem. You know, it could be anything like that. So some of the short-term effects, let's see, if not addressed properly, some people will, you know, have sleeping disorders. You know, they don't eat on. There's no schedule because you're constantly in that room working on your video game or escaping, whatever the case you're doing. While the short-term effects maybe include hunger, fatigue, but they could also lead to sleep disorder and diet-related health issues. All right, there's some things there. Long-term effects. Game addiction, you can have financial. There can be academic, occupational consequences. Video games, equipment can be expensive. So all kinds of things, you know, you don't want to go relate to your family, relate to your friends. So there are all these little consequences that can happen. If I were to encompass everything we've talked about during the week, the best thing, and that's if you can do it, you know, everybody's different, is to have balance. That's the key. But how do you get balance? In order to get balance, you got to realize what you're doing is throwing you too far left or too far right, and your life is being impacted by that. I always say this: it's too much of anything is not really healthy. Too much, you know. Because if you're doing too much of something, that means you are trying to overcompensate for something or get away from something, which impacts other parts of your life, and then that part of your life gets affected. So there's this whole tumbling domino effect about how you live. So we're gonna end this addiction week, and on a good note, is ask yourself this question: why am I excessively doing this behavior? You know, be it drugs, be it alcohol, be it video games, be it sex. Oh, stealing, kleptomania, they call that. You know, why am I doing that? There's a need being met. And I'm going to revert to this kleptomania. We did the video, but I'm going to do it because it's really important, kleptomania. Because everyone thinks, well, you're a thief. Well, and one of my first clients a long time ago, Asian woman, you know, that petite, unassuming. You look at her, you're like a college student. But she was on for kleptomania, and then she had to get psychological problems. So I said, what need is being met by you stealing? She goes, what? I go, well, you says here, you stole $400 worth of clothing. Also, that you need psychological evaluation. So before you get to the psychological evaluation, let's understand why you do this behavior. So after a small conversation, she goes like this. My mother locked me in a closet. I said, oh, there it is. She goes, what do you mean? Oh, your need for choice and empowerment. By taking the clothes, you have a choice. You are empowered by taking something. That's why you keep taking.
Off topic.
I know we're off topic. But I know where I told them. I warned you guys, right? Okay, because we're going to end the addiction thing. But I just wanted to throw an addiction of taking things, we'll call it. All right? So her need for choice. That being said, and the mother did other dastardly things to her. So her whole big thing for taking constantly was to have power in her life. And that's the only way she could get it. We go back to the addiction of the video. Same thing. Power in your life. I get to have a higher point. I get to accumulate points. I get to be somebody different who has power. And I get to conquer other people in the video game. So for that moment, guess what? I am in control. I have power. I have choice. And that therefore builds my confidence in that moment, which is no different than taking drugs excessively to build your what? To escape reality in the moment. Right? In the moment. But guess what, everybody? One day, 1 minute later, a few hours later, that's gonna wear off. The drugs, the video games. So one day you're gonna have to walk out that door and see your family, and relate to people. All right? Eating. One day you're gonna have to put the fork down and ask the question, why the constant eating.
And also health related.
Yeah, and it's health related with the eating.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Also health related issues that's going to make you aware that you need to stop doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah, well, the awareness has to come in why you start in the first place. The side effects or the effects afterward are what it does to your body, what it does to your self-worth, what it does to your view of the world, goal setting, what you want out of life, where are you going. So these are the things to think about. My goal here was to give you some insight about the various addictions that we have, or the popular ones, and understand what the bottom line is for each one. And it is getting a need met tragically. That's all it is. What you need to do is find out what the need is, where it comes from, how it started, why it started, who are the individuals involved because it started, and make some sense of it, come to peace with it, so you can let it go. Because we all carry something. Everybody, let me put it this way. 96% of the families in America has some form of dysfunction. 96. So every time we go out into the streets, every time we go into the office, every time we go to a football stadium, see 80,000 people, 96% have got something going on. Something. We carry it. What we are good at is pushing it down so we don't deal with it.
Okay, let's talk about yesterday.
Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm not done yet, ma'am.
I know.
I'm not done.
I want you to
I know. But, wow, I'm getting an interruption. Static. Okay. So now I'm trying. God, I'm getting interrupted. I'm trying to conclude this topic of the week.
No, we still have 2 more days.
We do?
Yes, it's 7 days.
7 days. We're thinking work week. All right. Anyway, so remember, getting a need met. Understand why we do it, so we can have an answer, so we can change it. Okay. All right. So that's the heavy work. The light work. We went to a function yesterday at the mayor's mansion. I didn't know the mayor's mansion was right there. All of a sudden, we're in this compound in the huge backyard, having watching 3 profound women speak on their experiences. Because what it is it's the entry. What is it called?
Re-entry program.
The reentry program from prisons, from county jails, people reentering in society, as opposed to dumping them off to the side. We want to help them, support them, and give them the resources they need to transition into the real world. Like we talk about the transition to the real world. Because if you don't give people the tools and the ability and the health treatment or mental health treatment to transition to the other world, into the world when they come out, guess where they're going back? And statistics say almost 70% of people, recommit because they don't know anything else. So this is a wonderful program, and this one happened to be about women and things that go on with women. There's all kinds of dastardly deeds of, they've been raped, they've been victimized, all kinds of stuff. When one woman was telling me her story about, there's 2 women up there, really interesting, who've been in prison for one was for 23 years, the other one for 29. It was amazing. 23 years they've been in prison. I'm doing calculations of 23 years. I've been in the probation department for almost 23 years. I've been out of college for more than 26 years. My kid is 23. It's amazing where they've been for 23 years while we have lived our lives. And I find that amazing. So they were very empowering. And I got to give them props. I got to respect their journeys. One of them went to Pitzer College, which is a fancy college out there with Claremont and Harvey Mudd, very fancy liberal arts colleges. They got a master's, and she's doing her thing in Irvine, and like, wow. And then the other one is the 29-year former inmate, we'll call her, is a program director of one of the facilities, helping people because she does not want them to experience what she went through when she came out. She gave some funny stories. She had a cell phone, and the cell phones were like this big back in the day, she said, like this, right? And she's like, what do I do with this? So she put it to her face, and she's wondering, well, what do I do? I can't hear. She put it up, put it down, and she goes, what is that? Or she remembered when cell phones came out in 1984 when she went in, because they were like, bricks to your head, and you had to carry a box. And boy, you were bad when you carry those. You're like, who is that fool? I'll just wait. As you see, you get fancy ones now. They're as big as your hand. But anyway, that's a great program. So we're going to try to be part of that. I want to help women understand, some of the social, emotional issues of childhood. Put them to rest so they can move forward. I want to do that as a man. I am a man. Wow. I want them to have a male speak in front of them, so they look at males differently. They are not like what they grew up with. Wow, he can speak and talk to me, and I'm not afraid, because I've had those before on my case. I have clients like that before who were afraid of me because I was a man. I'm like, wow, it was new to me. I never seen that, so I had to really respect that and get them to understand that I am not them. I am me. We are here and we are now. Okay. Yeah, so that's the final step, contributing. All right? That's what we want to do. We want to contribute. We want to contribute to this planet while we're here, and we'll let them use the new workbook coming out. So those typos are killing me. Typos, man. You read the book over and over, and the typos keep coming and coming. You're like, I missed that one. Where did that one come from? It's like they grow like weeds. You got to put it away for a few days. You got to bring it back, and you can read it slow But it's getting there. A few more words that we need to change, and I think we got a workbook on our hands. Okay, and that's something I'm kind of proud of, that workbook. I really am. I'm like, wow, and it's going to hit you over the head too. So if you read it, be ready, because I'm going to knock on your head, wake you up, so you can do something different. All right, feel different, think different, be different. All right. So that's it for today on the addiction of video gaming. Hopefully you learned something. And watch out for your thumbs, man, because you're going to get arthritis.
So tomorrow's topic is plastic surgery.
Tomorrow's topic, guess what? Plastic surgery. We have seen that constantly changing the body, the image, so we can believe we are better than we are before, so we can possibly get the validation that we desire or need to live in the world.
So we'll probably be on about 1 o'clock.
Yes, I'll probably be on about 1 o'clock. Or in the afternoon. I have a gym appointment because I haven't been all week. My body's breaking down. All right, so I got to stretch. So in the meantime, have a great day. Enjoy your day.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday, and train for happy hour. All right? All right, everybody, have a great day. I'm off to work. Got to go. Peace.